his name up on the headstone. Big for the cheese and you're dead wrong. Propaganda said the standards in the tear down.
Throw it back, yeah, I'm born to it's talking, it's hustling me where I'm at. I'm living how I want now. No reason to doubt, it's clear to see. All eyes on me, 400 degrees. Who am I? Ruthless, easy, does it. In public, hate it or love it. The underdogs with liquor swabs. It was written in my diary to start a war. I'm feeling infamous, immortal with my technique. A revolutionary shining with diamond teeth. Young Don cut it.
Hey, everybody, it's the...
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley and Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Today, it's an NFC West battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll have Jimmy G calling the shots. Grew up in the northern suburbs of Chicago, went to Eastern Illinois. Jimmy Garoppolo.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Now McKinnon. Oh, he shifts past him. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Now a play fake. Garoppolo. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Garoppolo to Goodwin there for a 49er first.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Here's McKinnon, and he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. Garoppolo to his tight end, Kittle, for a Niner first down. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. It makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
Inside the red zone, it's Garoppolo. Incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. In for the score. And the 49ers drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Now, this is a crew, they've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you really haven't. You're in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. You know, get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now a man who played collegiately here in the Golden State, Rashad Penny. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. That one good for 33 and a 1st.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
Hey, over here.
They keep it with Penny on 1st down. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed. But they really want him to be that guy. And that's what they're doing early in this game.
Geno Atkins, the Pro Bowler, in there on the stop.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
They'll try and run for it with Penny. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
On every snap, a defense is trying to establish who they are, but on 3rd and short, that's really when you put it out there and tell people who you are, and that's exactly what they did. For the offense, they're looking at their offensive line and saying, guys, where are you? We need you on those plays.
So they'll say no to the 50-yard field goal try. Instead, the offense out there, they're going for it.
Hey, over here. Check.
They'll run with Penny. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that. But by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down.
I tell you, on that first glance, I thought he got it easily. But the mark was not a real favorable one. As it turns out, they do give him the 1st down, but that was very close to going the other way.
They go play action here on 1st down. Space to run past the 20. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's all the way down to the 13-yard line. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. Wilson steps away. And he'll lay out run and pull it in. What a diving catch there. It'll be first and goal when we come back. 7-0 is our score. We're back to Santa Clara after this. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. Penny will try to punch it in, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll bring up a second and goal.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
They'll give it to him up the middle. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
So third and goal, and the 49er faithful making some noise for their defense. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Tyler Lockett with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. Sebastian Janikowski on for the PAT. Janikowski good with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. A 10-play drive that time, and it all culminates with a Seattle score. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. First man through, it's the fullback use check. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily, you're right, but he did there. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves its sticks.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there, and if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
They run it with McKinnon. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Play action, Garoppolo. And Garrett Selleck here on the completion. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. Over the middle to Garcon. And he gets it down to the 32. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. They'll run it now with Juszczyk. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
All right, let's put the check mark on the defensive side of the ledger there. Really nice tackle by the man in the middle. But why was he able to get that done? Because he has 4 down linemen in front of him, 2 tackles, 2 ends. And what they often try to do is create what we call a funnel. Right to the man in the middle linebacker, who often leads his team in tackles.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Here we go. Like 80!
7 consonants, 1 vowel. Here's Juszczyk. And across the chalk, into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Kyle Juszczyk, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Niners are able to cash in for 6. And it's up and good. That pushes the lead now to 15-7. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And a 9-yard run on the end of it. Gold now out to kick it away. Tyler Lockett now with a return. Tennessee offense making their way out onto the field as you take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. Well, we do know, Charles, they will be in the playoffs. They currently sit at pole position number 1, but nothing's set in stone right now. They still have to earn that top spot.
And it makes me reflect back to preseason when you and I do our tours of camps. The prevailing message in each and every one of them was what? Win the division.
Win the division.
Win the division. You know you're in the playoffs. It means something. It means a home game. It means a number of other things, but winning the division is paramount. You're right. They won't step off the gas here.
And he'll work this one up to about the 38. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They go play action with Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. And that's caught inside the 35. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Give him 30 yards there. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Now a play fake here on first down. Rolling, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Geno Atkins in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bothered the play action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Here's Wilson to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Pretty solid coverage there by the All-Pro Richard Sherman, able to get a hand in.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Play action. Now Wilson. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. The speedster Dante Pettis back deep to return. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes, but right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the 2nd quarter. The drive starts with a handoff to McKinnon, and the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They're going to run this with a tight end. And he's going to lose yardage back to his own 1-yard line. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The Niners on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is going to be 3rd and 13. McKinnon fighting to get back to the goal line. I don't think he got there. He did not get back there. It's a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Ooh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. And remember, following the safety, you give the football up as well, and they free kick it from the 20 now.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic first down.
Check 50.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And it's hauled in by Ed Dixon. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there, 26 yards. On first down, Wilson. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Wilson now off the bootleg, sliding out of the pocket. And he's got room. The rushing numbers for Wilson, maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
Certainly making his presence felt in both the pass and the run game. He's having an impact.
Yeah, and his first carry of the game right there, he had hurt him with his arm. Now he's showing that he can shuffle the puppies as well. Throwing is Wilson. He'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 11 more on that one and another first down. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. So we've hit and now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. DeForest Buckner in on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Got it. 14, got it. Hey, over here.
On second down, here's Wilson. Space to maneuver at the 40. Wide open receiver complete. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Penny, a first down carry. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
On second down, here's Penny. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
95.
On third down, Penny. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little.
And now the up man has it. It's a fake. And I don't think he got there. He did not. They stop him a yard shy. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool him.
Anytime a fake doesn't work, We usually focus our attention on the guys that were unsuccessful. But how about the defensive guys? They have to plan all week. They have to prepare all week. Special teams, it looked like they were educated for that one.
Educated on their toes and getting a big stop. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
From midfield, here's Garoppolo. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's brought down. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had the incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. And the Niners move the chains as Garoppolo hooks up with Taylor.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver trying to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Garoppolo now. And he's caught right at the 10-yard line. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. He'll get it up the middle, and he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Jerick McKinnon, his 9th touchdown of the season, and the 49ers add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
On the return, the All-Pro 2 years ago, Tyler Lockett. They find some open field here. And what a return. Great field position all the way out to the 48-yard line.
It's the 3rd quarter, and they're down on the scoreboard. And while no one wants to hit the panic button just yet, points are a necessity on this drive. What a great way to get set up.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Now Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made. And that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Completes it to Dixon. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That'll give him 60 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down.
Check 50, check 50.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Wilson now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Wilson will throw again. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. The tight end, Ed Dixon, was the target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw again, Wilson. He's got it. And he's brought down. Wilson to lock it there for the Seahawk 1st down. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal.
Tempo.
Throwing again here, Wilson. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Nick Vannett, his 1st touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks have made this a 1-score game.
It's not a great revelation to say that it's going to take a lot to replace what Jimmy Graham gave this club from the tight end position, especially in the red zone. But that had to be an encouraging sight for Russell Wilson right there as he finds one of his replacements for the touchdown.
To throw again is Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. Should have been picked. Probably doesn't matter on a 2-point conversion, but still, as a former DB, you want to grab that ball when you can, don't you?
You certainly do, and don't say it, because I know you're thinking it. Don't say it.
What am I thinking?
You know what I know what you're thinking. Well, if he'd had hands, he'd be playing on offense, right?
That's true. You've said that before. Oh, able to avoid him. And that should give his guys a spark. He's up all the way to the 44-yard line.
Any return to get you to midfield is a great return. 1 1st down, and you're almost in field goal position.
Good starting field position for the 49ers as they have it 1st and 10.
Here we go.
And the first play of the drive goes to McKinnon. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. In on the stop, it was the UCF product, Shaquem Griffin.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bifema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they worked on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An out cut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Now they try the right side here. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down and 6. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a 1st down. Garoppolo now. Perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Inside the red zone, it's Garoppolo. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
And right now I take my rudimentary kindergarten skills and draw where the tackle box would be, because that was close. I thought he was in the tackle box. He has to be very careful where he gets rid of the football from that spot.
Yeah, they say there was a receiver in the area, though.
Yeah. There's always a receiver in the area.
Man, this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And Gold is able to put it through. And that will make this a 9-point lead. A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, let a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now, because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 24.
Check 50, check 50. Come on, Dad.
Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Alert. 95.
Now Wilson on 1st down. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the 4th. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
Now a handoff looking right. And they go backwards here. Losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. The Niners on third down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. They run once more with McKinnon. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
Throwing now is Wilson. Being chased out left. And some room to maneuver. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Here's Wilson. Wide open receiver complete. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game.
Come on, let's go. Hey, tempo. Let's go, 14.
Now Wilson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Here's Wilson. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. And it's the former Seahawk, Malcolm Smith. And he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line. Charles, when plays like that work, it's a thing to behold, but sometimes we see why they're very deep in the playbook.
And how many times have we been at practice and heard all the other guys chirping about, you know, I used to play quarterback in high school, I can do this, until it becomes a game situation. Not quite the same in many cases.
In on the stop, Bradley McDougal.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They get